Hello, everybody. I'm just laughing here because when the lady liked the introduction, it's a countdown. Happy
Yeah.
New Year! Happy New Year to everyone. We are already in 2022, and I hope you have had a great time around friends, around family, of course, taking care of yourself, following all the social distance rules and making this uh, less painful as possible for everyone. So, and we are in a new year, but we are with the old format of the show of the live, and we are keep studying here the gospel according to Spiritism, and we are on chapter 13, and today we will discuss items 9 to item 11. So, when the ladies conduct a little bit more or less today, because I am in a
On call for a meeting.
yeah, I like the word on call here. If someone from my work needs me, I need to reach out then. So, good morning, Robbie. You just woke up. Good morning for you, my friend. I hope you're okay. And so let's do our initial prayer. Let me do the initial prayer because if I don't be here on the final prayer, you do it. So once again, let's raise up our thoughts to our mentors of the show, mentors of Ireland, mentors of your country. Ask them to enlighten ourselves, fortify not just ourselves, but the Spiritist movement, looking after those brothers and sisters who are in need, those who are in the hospitals, suffering from depression, anxiety. May this prayer reach them and somehow comfort their hearts, calm down their hearts. And we ask for those spirits to inspire us on our words today towards yourself, towards you. Thank you. So be it. Amen. Okie dokie. So let me grab the book here. So we are saying here uh, the chapter topic is do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And chapter item 9 is the beginning of the instruction of the spirits, is mainly what the spirits interpretation about the moral teachings from Jesus, which here is it is. Let me get here because I don't know by heart. It is Matthew 6, 1 to 4, Matthew 8, 1 to 4, and that's it. And Mark 12, 41 to 44, and Luke 21 to 1, 4. So, material charity and moral charity. Just to give you a heads up, Vanderlei, I probably 2 lives ago, I gave an example for them, the difficulties we have here, not just us, but especially these newcomings from Brazil. They want to do charity, and
Mm.
it's difficult to do charity. I gave the example when we went to the streets and we gave like tea and food, and the guy that came to us and say, "Hey, what
Mm.
are you going to go with this?"
Yeah.
If you one of these homeless get sick because of the tea or give, so you go to jail, the lunch, and also when we approach an institution, the institution do a kind of job interview,
Very
it
true.
create a lot of things. So especially you are more experienced than me on this. So I explained them, and because of this, we had a kind of a wake of uh, the huge difference between moral charity and material charity. Both are important, both are needed, but uh, we can say one complete the other, but they can live apart. Like we said, in Brazil, the main need there is the material charity, because people need clothes, people need food, you
Yeah.
need where to live, people need having shower, for example, these basic needs. While in the developed countries, like here in Ireland, we can see someone begging for money on the street using a Nike shoes.
Yep.
You know, but at the same time, we can see people with not with normal standard shoes. But or sometimes when you give money to them, they're on the phone. Oh, just one moment. Oh, thank you. Happened to me many times.
Yeah.
The guy was begging on the street with talking on the phone, and oh, one moment, and we give the money. Oh, thank you. But you know, uh, but we are not saying, we are not judging here what they're gonna do with the money, if what they're gonna use the money we gave, but more often we are seeing those people, they need, sometimes not even what, not some, most of the times, not to chat with one another, they need someone to notice them and someone to listen their stories. You just need to say, "Hey, how are you?" And they start saying a lot of things. All what's bothered them. Most of the case are relationship problems. It, with their parents or with their partners or with their family overall. So all of this, and at the end, they don't need the money, but they need more your support. They need to be notes that I am here, I do exist. And that's my introduction, Wanderlei. So if you want to say something.
Steven, I agree with you because I was in Brazil while, I was for almost a month there, and I was on the streets there. And in Brazil, we still have plenty of poverty, and especially now with the economical crisis that we are facing, the political crisis that we are facing. And people there, as you said, they are in the necessity of basic needs, which I believe are homeless in Ireland. I'm not saying all, because I've seen people in Ireland who were in fact in need of food. In fact, they were hungry. We can find that, of course, but as you said, it's not so common. Because here, if you go, I used to work in the night here in Dublin for a good while, and if you go in the evening to city center or in many places, in many areas around town, always there are those people who goes there and give sandwiches to them and give teas to them. And those people, they are qualified, they have a certificate, they have insurance for it. They're not like us trying to help, though, as you said before. So one thing which I realized was this, that people, they don't really need, like, say, food here, for instance, or clothes, because people, they give that plenty to them. But I was faced here many times in Dublin when I met people, especially elderly people, as you said, they just want to be noted, because a lot of them, sometimes they are here in Dublin and they don't talk to their children anymore. I'm not saying they were good parents or bad parents. That's not the case. That's not my point. But once in my situations, when I had the chance and I said, hey, what's your story? Like, what are you doing? Where's your kids? and they're kids which supposed to be my age, I guess, because those people which I met, they were nearly in their 80s or 70s. So their children probably they were like around their 40s or 30s, something like this. And one guy told me, I have 5 children, and they don't like me. They don't talk to me. They left me. And you start to wonder what this guy has done, for their family to leave him alone. And then he starts to say about his alcohol problems. And you start to see that perhaps he wasn't the best father, but their children, they didn't have the the love in their heart for him to try to help him. So the only thing I could say to that guy was that things were going to get better, and I was listening to him. And the guy asked me for money, and I told him, man, I would love to give you money, but I know you're gonna take drugs. And he told me, yes, I'm gonna take drugs because I want to forget about the world. And that kind of touched me. I said, look, but if you are hungry, I can go and buy here a sandwich or some chips and some tea. And I gave some tea to this guy. And after that, I realized this, as you said, Stevan, most of the people here in Europe, I'd say, not all countries, but at least here for Ireland, because I know there are countries in Europe which they are not in the best situation. But here in Ireland, people, they just want to be heard. They just want to be passed in the streets, and they want to be noted by the people. And that hurts them quite a lot, especially when they see us foreigners. We are not from here, and some of them, they treat them like they were nothing. And those people, they are the local ones, they are the Irish ones. So I know it hurts them. But then we have to say to ourselves, what can I do? What's the only thing I can do? There is a saying in Portuguese which says, if you cannot add anything good to someone, be quiet. So if you cannot add anything to someone that you see on the street, don't judge that person. That person maybe is on drugs, or that person has an alcohol problem that we see a lot here in Dublin. Don't judge. If you cannot talk to them, maybe you don't want to talk to them. Maybe you don't want to be placed in that situation. Once you are passing to that person, say a good prayer to that person. We know that it sounds a bit boring, and that it sounds that that's not going to change the person's life. But here, in the Gospel according to Spiritism, here in 89, the spirit of, what's her name again here? I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot the name here of the spirit. She says this, that sometimes you gotta meet
Sister
people.
Rosalia.
Yeah, Sister Rosalia, thank you, Stevan. She says that sometimes once you are helping those in need on the streets, even if you're not helping with something material, but at least with a good word, with a good thought, or a good prayer, maybe that spirit, once he finds you in the spiritual world, he's going to be the one trying to support you. Or if you do that constantly, you may be surprised that many spirits, they may be there to help you, because you helped them spiritually. You helped them sometimes with a good word. Sometimes a word that you say to someone in the street like this is going to change their day, and it's just a word. Of course, we are not saying go and start to talk to everyone on the street. Some people, they don't feel comfort doing this. But if that comes to you, because I really believe like this, Stevan, if that situation comes to you, you are protected by the good spirits. If some junk comes to you to talk to you in the street, I'm sure if he came to you, you can be certain that you're going to be able to say something good to him if you want to that person. And that person may not cause you harm. And even that person cause you harm, what can you do? That's life. But don't be the one who starts to judging that person, who makes that person's life even more miserable. Because yes, people, they don't need anything here in Dublin. Let's say they don't need food. Some of them, they don't need clothes. But some of them, they have no they have no hope for their future. Because something which Brazil has, which I thank God all day to be a Brazilian, is that we have a huge notion of God and spirituality, not religion, but God and spirituality. And here in Europe, perhaps because of previous times when Catholic religion was, we are not judging, just to be clear here, but when Catholic Church, they were quite harmful to some people. Some people, they have this kind of hard feeling against religion in general here. But at least for myself, if it was not for God, not for God, the being itself, because I cannot see the being as some people want to see, but I see God everywhere in the things. But if I didn't have this notion of God, I believe I would be lost nowadays. And some people here in Dublin, I'd say they are lost in this way because they don't believe in anything. They don't really have anything for them to hold in the difficult times. And here, as it says here, uh, help those with the best of your abilities, those who are less fortunate. But here, Sister Rosalia does not say about material things. She's saying to us, help in the best way you can. What's the best way you can? I don't know. Sometimes, if you live with flatmates, which is the reality of many students here in Dublin, at least most of the Brazilian students, but I'd say most of the students, once you are sharing an apartment, you have that difficult flatmate who perhaps is having some troubles at work or some troubles in a relationship, and that person starts to be a bit harsh on you, starts to be a bit aggressive in the place that you live. And the first thing you do, you just defend yourself. You just react. But you don't think maybe he is having a difficult day. Maybe not now because I can see he's very upset. But later on, I'm gonna say to that person, "Hey, how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? How was your day? How is your life?" Believe me, guys, in these small things, I believe you can practice plenty of charity without giving anything to that person, but just asking, "How are you? How is your life? Is there anything I can do for you?" If you do this, you break the defenses of that person. All the barriers are broken. Of course, there are people who don't want to receive any kind of good word or help. I understand that. But you are doing your best. And keep doing this. There is a story which Divaldo Franco said that a Jewish man who was in the camps in Germany, there I think it was in Poland where he was,
Yeah.
he used to say every day good morning to the soldier who was about to kill him, because that soldier was his student before the war, and he always says to there good morning, because the guy now was, even if he was his student, now he was a captain in the army, and the guy never replied. But the guy wanted to reply because he knew who was that person. But because he was insisting every day, "Good morning, sir," whatever. The guy one that said, "Good morning, teacher." You know. So what I'm trying to say is this: sometimes you're gonna find people who does not want our help, or have some difficulty to accept our words, and it's fine. Do not force on them. Do not try to be, "I'm the good spiritist. I'm gonna go say to Stevan, that's the way." No, don't force. Wait, but keep doing, and that's a really good charity way of practicing charity. Go ahead, Stevan. I spoke a lot. Sorry.
No, you are right. For example, we discovered a lot of people taking this example by the Jewish people in the gym. How many people we know now they help these Jewish people at the time, and those who you never know they have helped. Even if you help like one person,
Yeah.
like when you that is a old quote, like say when you help
Yeah.
one person,
Jewish
you
saying.
help the entire world.
Yeah. It's a Jewish saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but and it's true because if you help one person, either if it's a woman or a man, they will gonna have a relationships. They will have a sons, grandchildren. They so you not help just one person. You help a lot. And what we needed to focus our efforts is help them, but help ourselves, because at the end we will note that we learn more than we, let's say, teach. No, Rob says here, let us practice with patience and consistency. Yes, yes, that you're absolutely right, Robbie. We need to practice it. Some days, of course, even us, sometimes we are not in a bad mood. We in a very good mood. We are having problems at work. We are having problems at home. We are having problems in our relationship, and we know we cannot give a smile all the time. But we are able to identify when we are in a good mood, and then when you start to know yourself, when these low points reach you, it's up to you if you're gonna let this uh, 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 get you 100%, or you repel those thoughts. I'm not meaning repel those thoughts and start to laugh. It starts to be uh, pretending everything's fine. No, I'm saying, hey, I can block a bad thought, I can block a bad thing, but at the same time, I will stay quiet. If I am on those days, everything is upside down, stay quiet, remain in prayer, put a good song to read instead of trying to, oh, let me ring Vanderlei now because I need you to shout with someone. I will start a fight with Vanderlei. You know, I'm saying is stay quiet. Put a good music. You like that music. Try to connect as much as possible with superior spirits in order to 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 elevate this morale you have. So as much we learn about spiritism, more we understand that everything is on us. Everything is on us. We do have the bad moments. Yes, we do have, and we will have these bad moments. Sometimes, and most of the times, we don't understand why we having that bad moments. But I guarantee to you, those bad moments is it's helping you to to push you forward. Somehow, is pushing you forward. And when we say here, uh, we need to do the charity, we just think, oh, I'm giving money to them, so because we think like a exchange.
Exchange, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm giving money, or because I gave money to the poor guy, I deserve to have something better. No. Then we say, I like this. For example, uh, we used to say that the true love is the love from a mother to a son. Okay, and we can say in more or less 100%, 90% of the times, when we ask to the mama, hey, which one you love more, your son or your husband? And most of the answer, oh, my son. Yeah, but let's suppose everybody gonna die. Everybody's on the spiritual plan now, and they are deciding to incarnate. And your son now will be your husband, and your husband will be your son. Who you love more now? What I'm saying here, there is no who I love more, most or not. What I'm saying here, we need to love our close friends in the same intensity we need to love those who we not even know. When we reach that level, when we reach that certain level, we're gonna be in a totally different world. When we starting to care at the same intensity, you want good for your family, but you want good for those guys on the street, those family who was your neighbor, in the same intensity, not more or less, no, the same, equal. Things gonna change. You will stop to give the spare change or that clothes you don't want anymore. And you will start to, oh, I buy a new shirts for me, but I will buy a new shirts for that guy on the street over there. But nobody say, no, I have a lot of plenty of shirts there. Let me go home. That is some I don't need to wear, and I will give to them. Why don't you go to the store and buy new clothes for them? And we always like, oh, I did my charity. I'm renewing my wardrobe now, and I will do some charity. I will give my clothes to. No, there is a difference between moral obligation because you not throw your clothes away.
Mm.
My understanding is when you say Vanderlei, he may have this on Facebook. We have this Facebook of the people here, and and people like to make some posts. This attachment,
Yeah.
you know, and they have clothes, even house products. Oh, I'm giving this away, and they charge. Oh, it's a penny, like €1 50 cents. This is not this attachment. This attachment say, hey, take it. I don't care. Go. So we need to still work our values on this. We need to review these concepts. Again, I'm not saying, please, if you do your clean your wardrobe and still keep doing this, please don't stop this. But what I'm saying is just make the differentiation being doing what is gonna be right from doing because you love them is a kindness attitude. It's not, oh, I will do this is right. Oh, of course it's right. If you are buying new clothes, those clothes don't fit you anymore, or you are sick of using that clothes, but they're in good conditions, it's a moral obligation to give to someone who need it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
See, but it's a good point because we have in the Gospels, I think it's in Matthew, when an old lady she gives to the temple 1 coin, and a rich man gives like a bucket full of coins. Then Jesus asks, who gave to the temple the biggest amount of coins? The guy said, was the guy. And Jesus kind of says, are you sure? More or less. I'm just using my words. Because he could see that she gave more than all the rich guys in the temple. Because she gave everything that she had. What
yeah,
I'm trying to say is like this. We don't give everything that we have. Of course, we need this stuff. We need material things. But I like what Stevan said, because sometimes we just give what is left over. And of course, here Sister Rosalia says also in the gospel, in this item 9, that there will be no poverty in the world. There will be no homeless people. There will be no necessity, material necessity in the world, if all the leftovers from the rich people were given to the poor. Because she understood that even if there are plenty of rich people nowadays, they still don't give what they have left over to the poor. Sometimes they destroy or whatever. They give to an institution who may sell to the poor in a poor country. They are not really giving. But what she's trying to say is like this: if we can give a little bit of what we have to someone in need, that's really good. But like Steven said, bear in mind what's your real purpose on doing this. Because some people, they just want to show off. Some people, they just want to make an Instagram post or Facebook post saying that they're good. But of course, when Sister Rosalia said this, we have to understand that the time that the Gospel according to Spiritism was written in the 1850s in France, poverty, even in France, a country that we consider nowadays a rich country, had a lot of poverty. but we still having this. But now we have these massive companies. We have people here in Ireland, something that's completely different from Ireland to many poor countries. It's like this, that whatever money you make here, your salary you make, you can buy plenty of things. You can live a decent life, if you compare to other places. So people, they just think about buying. I want to buy more. Like before, I remember when I was small, I used to use the clothes of my older brother, and that was passing on to all of us. Here, we just throw away and buy new ones. What I'm trying to say is like this, guys, that if we also appreciate the money that we have, the earns that we make, and we understand that's something quite valuable, that's something that with a little bit of what I earn, I can help, I can support someone. So if you get 10 euro, you can support, let's say, an institution back in Africa, in Brazil, or in some poor place, where 10 euro, which is nothing here for you, for them can be a lot. Am I saying that we should go and give the money to the poor? No, if you want, go ahead. Jesus said that. But what Jesus was trying to say is like this: do not stay too attached to things. Understand, like Stevan said, nowadays, as Sister Rosalia says here also, you see a beggar on the street and you think, poor one, he's a beggar. Maybe if you know a little bit about reincarnation, you say, oh, you see, that's the law of action and reaction. Some people, they say that, especially us in the Spiritism movement. But bear in mind that that spirit could have been your son before, could have been someone that you loved before. And you are just facing that person to test you sometimes, to see how good you are, how good are your intentions. And maybe that beggar on the street that you treat quite badly, that you look and say, you see, he's in the situation here that he deserves. As she says here, maybe in the spiritual world, he's a high evolved spirit who asked for that situation to maybe finalize his cycle of reincarnations here on earth, or maybe to be a part of a bigger project related to incarnation. So we can do plenty of things. But once you help someone just for the purpose of showing off, are you gonna be doing good to that person? For sure, you're gonna be doing good to that person. If you get someone who is hungry, and if you give to them a sandwich, a coke, and a bag of chips, and if that person is really hungry, you are doing something good for sure. But if you are giving that to that person just to show off in front of friends,
Take
to
selfie, you know?
take a selfie, post on Instagram, Facebook, even if your action is still helping someone, you are not receiving the best. Why am I saying you are not receiving? Because once we think about charity, we always thinking about giving to someone, but that's not the correct thought. We have to understand that once you give to someone the best you can, like this old lady gave a one coin in the temple, she gave everything to the temple. Once you do this, you are not doing good for that person, you are doing good for yourself. You are the one who is receiving. Of course, they are receiving the material stuff. Yeah, that's true. But you are the one. There is a beautiful passage in the gospel also after the crucifixion when there are two men, they are walking in Galilee. I think they're going to another city, and then they meet a stranger, and they see that the stranger was a bit lost, and they ask for that stranger, "Hey, do you want to come with us?" And then that stranger asked, have you heard about this crucified man? And the man, they say, yeah, poor guy, he was crucified. He was a good prophet. He was a decent man. And then these two guys, Emmaus, they were going to the city of Emmaus. I don't know how to say that in English, guys. Maybe it's a similar name with different accent. Emmaus, I'm not too sure. But once they are going there, they give food. They have dinner with that man. And that man had nothing. Then they realized that that man was Jesus. So that's what Sister Rosalia says here. Sometimes you are helping someone here that, in fact, you are helping some very, very high evolved spirit who are just in that situation to teach us something, to help us, to open our hearts, to see if all that promise that we made in the spiritual world, to be more charitable, to be nicer to the other, to love one another, if we're going to fulfill that promises. Because we promised all this before we incarnate. And once we come here, we see a new iPhone 12, a new iPhone 13. We forget about all these things. We just care about ourselves. And one thing which I believe COVID has taught to us is this: there is no others anymore. We are all connected together. We are all in the same boat. So if we are all in the same boat, one thing which bothers me quite a lot is the situation about vaccines. That some poor countries, they haven't got even 5% of their population being vaccinated, but we got rich countries who are going now for the fifth dosage, for the fourth dosage of their vaccines. So this will still keep going. That's my opinion. That's not the spiritual opinion. But based on the Genesis, based on the Genesis by Kardec, Gospel according to Spirit, based on the Spirit's book, we're only going to switch to a better world once we start to help one another. And we are not really helping one another in this situation. Some people are helping, but a lot of them, they don't care. So let's rethink our actions, our daily actions. Go ahead, Steven.
Oh, Hobby have a question here, and he's asking, can we truly remove ourselves from situations? Uh,
No. What I'm not too sure what he means. What do you think?
I'm saying it's difficult, you know. It's very difficult to do this. Uh, we are still too attached with material things. Um, but at the same time, we need to do, you know, like, oh, I want to eat health. I know I don't like eat salad, you know, but I will need to eat salad because I know it's health. It's kind of this. We need to we need do it. We need do it. And by repetition, this will become an habit from ourselves. And becoming a habit, this will make our character. And once it's in our character, we will do this without thinking, without any purpose. But we have a starting point. And the starting point is I will do it, even though I put a post, I take selfies, I take this, but do it. Keep doing. This needs to be consistency. Let's do it. I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I agree, but I'm not too sure if I really understand his question. But maybe if let's say there are situations that give for the sake of giving. Okay, sorry, Robbie. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe, Robbie.
Give it for the sake of giving with no expectations of personal gain.
Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, Robbie. I believe sometimes there is a beautiful poem by the, I think he's an Arabic, but he's not an Arab. I forgot his country. He's from Libya. I'm not too sure. Khalil Gibran, which is called Defeat. I think everyone should check. If I find the link here, I'm gonna add here. But it's a beautiful poem. So in this poem, he faces the defeat of life. He faces fail. He faces, people really not being kind with him. He faces disillusion basic in life. I believe, according to philosophy, this kind of disillusion that we have in life, this defeat that we find sometimes in life, it helps us to understand that we are here only in a passage, that life is too short. Once we grasp that we are no better than anyone, once we start to understand that we are just here for a short period of time, some people for 10 seconds, some people for 120 years, but it's still 120 years a short period of time if you think about existence of any spirit. So Rob, what I'm trying to say is like this: once we understand our place in the universe and in the existence, yes, I believe it's possible for us to give without expectations, because we understand that what we are giving is not ours. It's not doesn't not really belong to us. And if that person doesn't care about what we are giving, that's not our problem. We are doing our best. Yes, I still giving not material things, I believe, But when I, let's say, I give some nice, when I say something nice to someone, or when I treat someone nice, I have to admit I still expecting that person to do at least more or less the same. Very true. But there will be a time, like we saw with some people in history, where they start to didn't care. So it's a matter of time. So why has Mother Teresa, Chico Xavier, Dalai Lama, people who are Oscar Schindler, even some people they said that he was just a smarter person. You know, he was trying to take advantage of the Jews, but he saved so many people in the camps. But why these people, you know, they were giving without caring? Why do they can do it and why can I not do it? Because perhaps they started before me. Perhaps because of their free will, they insisted more, like Stevan said, more than I did. Maybe they realized a bit earlier what they have to do. And once this, you know, this spark comes to us, once we have this sign, I believe it's a matter of time of start to giving more. When I mean giving more, I'm not saying giving all your money to the poor. I'm not saying this. Whoever that wants to do this, go ahead. Because I believe when Jesus said that in the gospel, that was a figure of speech. He didn't say that literally. That's my opinion. But once you start to give more, you give more of your time, you give kindness to those without caring. But you have to keep practicing, like Stevan said. Once you keep practicing, you start to care less. If the other one doesn't care, if the other one doesn't thank me, that's fine. I'm doing because I know I must do it. I hope that helps Robbie. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. So there is a passage here on item 11, the last paragraph. Charity, that sublime word that synthesizes all the virtues. It is you who will conduct all the peoples of the world towards happiness.
Yeah,
It's only by practicing the act of charity that infinite delights can be created for each one in the future.
beautiful.
So it's practice, my friends. It's
Yeah,
practice, practice, practice every day. That doesn't matter if you are giving money or if you're listening to them or if you're talking to them. It's a practice. In any country, in anywhere of the world you will be. Always there is an opportunity to practice the charity. If it's moral, if it's material, if it's whatever new charity they may have a word now, you can do it.
agree.
You know, it is the same thing when that the guy from who helped the Samaritan
Man,
the
no,
Samaritan
the
man,
Samaritan helped the Jew
the Jew, yeah, yeah, who took him
to the hostel,
to the
to the
hotel,
hospital.
let's say,
Yeah, hotel. Yeah,
and give coins, ask them to take care. He put olive oil on the wounds. He didn't know that guy. He didn't know anything. And we are talking about a Samaritan that time. Samaritan that time was like, wow, is you a Samaritan? Keep, you stay there, and I'm stay here. Another example, when Jesus spoke with the woman in the well, with the Samaritan woman, she was astonished because a Jewish talking with a Samaritan. Oh, wow, he's doing charity at the moment. And what he did, he just said to her, you need to drink the living water. That's what he said. So, more or less, he was just trying to encourage her. And this was charity. So, the I think the lesson, today's lesson is no matter what, do something. Oh, but I cannot take out the intention. Do it. Practice it. Do it.
Steven, just something here just before we end. When it says here, this is but one of the kind of moral charity to play deaf when mocking words escape from the lips of those one who are well accustomed to disdain us. So what he's saying here to us in this part, that to do charity sometimes is to play deaf, is to be in a situation that you could argue. You know you're going to win. You know you have the right to say whatever you have to say, but you stay quiet, you
Yeah.
stay calm. You know, that person in the bad day is in a bad day and wants to say a lot of things. And you just stay quiet and say, yes, oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's charity also, guys. Because sometimes that person only wants to be heard. And I know it's not our problem. That person is having a bad day. It's very true. I know some people say, hey, if you are having day, if you are having a bad day, I don't care. Walk away. And sometimes, yes, we can just play deaf. We can be quiet. We can, let's say, we can allow that punches to come to us. But if we inside in our sublime house of the spirit, we start to, say, think, not a, when I mean a prayer, giving a prayer that, saying a prayer to that person, I'm not saying going there and say the Holy Father, but just ask the superior spirits to guide that person, to calm down that person. So many times we see in the airports people when they are, they are fed up with something related to the company, to their company or whatever. Ryanair, we find that a lot here in Dublin when things happens, and we are fed up and we start to shout at the person who works at the airport, at the at the airport, but it's not their fault also most of the time. It's it's the company of the airport, or it's the fault of the airport, or maybe the company, but that person is just doing their work as we would be doing. So sometimes I believe if you try to calm down ourselves, even when we believe we are right, in difficult times, we are doing a huge charity that we cannot imagine.
Yeah, just emphasize here that omission, it's really bad, because when you see things but you omit yourself, oh, I pretend I don't see it.
Yeah,
It's worst.
yeah.
Okay.
But like we are not like trying to say this, but we're trying to say sometimes the best thing you do is just to be quiet, not to omit yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for today, my friend.
That's it.
We finish chapter 11. We can give 12 onwards next week.
No, yeah, no. Chapter 13, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, chapter 13. Yeah.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
we still have item 13, correct? Yeah, okay, sorry. I didn't get it.
Hmm.
No, sorry.
Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, guys, please let us know. Hmm. Okay. So let's do our final prayer. Meanwhile, they write something.
No, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah. So,
Okay, guys, I would like to invite everyone to close our eyes, to take a deep breath. Let's try to concentrate on the present moment. Let's try to imagine ourselves in an open field, in a place, in a quiet place. And let's imagine a white light above our heads. This light above us is cleaning ourselves. It's taking away our bad thoughts. It's taking away all the bad influences. Let's rejoice this beautiful white light above us, which is helping us to start to rethinking about ourselves in this new year, in this difficult time we are facing. Let's use this light like a shower, which takes away all the dirts that we have in our body. But this time, let's ask for this light to clean our thoughts and our spirit, giving us the strength to keep going, knowing that perhaps we're gonna have a difficult year, but this light gives to us hope and consolations and make us think and make us be sure that despite all the troubles and difficulties, we have our good spirits, we have God, we have Jesus who's supporting us in the difficult times. Thank God for this opportunity. May this light be with us. And let's not forget, when we are in difficult times, if you want, we can imagine this white light above us, cleaning and supporting us. Thank God, and so be it.
Okie dokie. Oh, Don was there. Very quiet, Don, today. Probably he's freezing there. Yes.
More or less like tumbling. It's not that cold, but it's still quite cold.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leandro is putting a
Ah,
reminder to us. Do not forget to say about the healing session 8:30 today. Yes, just go to our YouTube page, and there you have our virtual healing. Um, so don't miss that. Tuesday we do have our study group of study. So if you need to go, send an email to spiritdesigner@gmail.com, and Nadia will send you the link. And that's it. Stay safe, my friends. Stay well. Stay at home, watching us, and let's wait this. All things come down a little bit. Okay. So thank you, Madele.
thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Have a nice day. I'll see you in 19 minutes in our virtual healing. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.